Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Chamber Check-in time, and today I have Uranka Sunderlin. She's the owner and founder of Sunderlin Behavioral Interventions with us today. Hi, Uranka.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, thanks for taking a little time with me. It was good to see you at Startups and Suds the other day and share a cheers and a toast. We're coming close to the end of the year.
Absolutely. That was a great time.
I look forward to sharing your business with the listeners and viewers today. But first, I get to thank our series sponsor. And Uranka, it's Delta Dental of Idaho. And as you know, Delta Dental provides best in class dental insurance benefits to Idahoans and businesses, and they've been doing it for over half a century. With that, I'm going to share a fun factoid from their Tooth Truth series. Here we go.
Delta Dental first introduced the HOW program 3 years ago. HOW, or Health Through Oral Wellness, is a patient-centered program that adds additional preventive benefits to those at high risk for dental disease. HOW benefits include additional cleanings, sealants, fluoride, as well as medicated mouth rinses and toothpastes. It's a definite differentiator in the marketplace for your employees.
Thank you, Delta Dental. Uranka, I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to share a little bit about your business as you're impacting lives of so many. And you're also part of our ambassador program. You've been a member for I don't know how long, but I really appreciate the investment in the community and the chamber. But as you know, these check-ins are really designed to help share our member stories, their products, their services, and most importantly, the people. So let's start with you, Uranka. What's your background? What's your history of work that led you to becoming an entrepreneur?
Oh, thanks, Paul. First of all, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. When I first started in the field of psychology, I was looking more into social work, just becoming a social worker. And this was, goodness, 27 years ago. And I bumped into behavior analysis just by chance while working at a group home level 12 facility. And I fell in love with it. It was an evidence-based science. It was all about data tracking and changing behavioral patterns, replacing them with more appropriate habits or behaviors. And I just decided to go from social work into getting my master's in behavior analysis. And ever since then, I've been in love with that field. And it then led me to work with people with special needs. That was the primary need at the time.
And then you've got 3 clinics, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So we have 3 clinics. We actually service 3 locations, I should say. We service families in Southern California. We service families in Portland, Oregon, and the surrounding areas. And we service families here in Boise, Idaho. We have a center right by the depot. So that's a really exciting clinic there.
Oh, wow. How long have you been in business here in Boise?
A little over a year. So we're excited for that. And we're actually expanding soon. Happy to say that we're about to open up a clinic in Meridian. So that will be our second center. And that's coming up soon. So we're going to make the announcement and have a ribbon cutting. And as an ambassador, I'll be there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, for those that don't know, what is the mission and vision of Sunderlin Behavioral Interventions? Help me understand a little bit more about how you impact lives.
Absolutely. So going back a little bit about my background, I'm also a board certified behavior analyst. This is a nationwide certification. And there is a limited amount of individuals with my background in licensure and certification. And so what led me, or my vision, is to be able to provide the best quality services for families with special needs, with staff that are well, qualified, equipped, and trained to provide this particular science that is a little bit more complex than just a simple treatment. It is a medical treatment. And so my goal is to always provide the best care possible with the most trained staff, and families feel like their investment and time into this treatment is worth it because they'll see the changes in their care, in their loved ones.
Do you help with SPED programs across the school district?
Absolutely. So we do help with one-on-one behavioral support in the school district. We also provide services in our center, which is more intensive treatment for younger children. And we work with young adults doing life coaching services.
Awesome.
Get them ready to get a job. So job readiness, dating boot camp, social skills training.
Awesome.
Yeah, things like that. And also we do caregiver training as well.
Okay. You mentioned something that's the critical piece of all of our businesses, your staff. Can you help share a little bit about their expertise and kind of the lines of services that they all play in?
Absolutely. So the thing about our field to keep in mind is that is not an easy position to have. You are dealing with individuals that may have some challenging behaviors. They have very dense treatments when we spend 20, 30 hours a week with them sometimes. And so that requires the kind of personality that's really invested, that understands that this position is beyond just a job, that it's bigger than themselves. And so the staff that we have on our team are really dedicated to our families, are flexible, patient, and all of them are well-trained. So when we bring someone on board, we make sure that we put them through the certification process with the Board of Behavior Analysis. So they are certified behavior therapists. And we make sure they have weekly support, constantly in touch with us, and have an education as well.
Well, I'm just looking at some of the, you can tell a lot about the credibility of people when they have a lot of letters after their first and last name. And
absolutely,
you
yes.
can fill up a whole book here with your team and their credentials, which is really cool. And so glad that you offer that type of elevated expertise. With Sunderlin Behavioral Interventions, do you provide in-home service or is it just at your clinic?
We actually provide in-home service as well. So we want to make sure that with our treatment, our kiddos or our young adult clients are able to generalize the skills that they learn with us. Because once they learn the skill, it's important to have them work with anyone, whether it's in the school, with our parents or caregivers, or at any place where they're interacting with others. So our mission is to make sure that we treat or provide the treatment in multiple environments. We even do community outings. We go to dental actually appointments with our clients. We go to doctor's appointments for our clients to provide the support they need and get them through some of these difficult or challenging situations that they don't know how to cope with, or need just that support.
I love it. We all have our own mindsets out there in the world, and we're all in the same place here. We all put our pants on the same way. I think it's important that your services are here, and we're really thankful for that, Yurenka. And just 1 year in business, and you've already recruited, 12, 15 specialists. And are expanding. So you can tell that in our growing community, more services like this are needed.
Oh, I agree 100%. And definitely quality services are needed the most. People that understand and are able to, carry out that treatment plan that we write out is very important to have.
So you and I kind of had a little plan for today, and I had some questions, but I'm going to go off script a little bit here.
Okay.
Yurenka, what are some testimonials you could share that that would be something you'd like the listeners to learn about Sunderlin and how you've impacted certain lives? Not using names or anything, but
no, of course, of course.
Give me a great story.
Yeah. So actually, interestingly enough, when we have feedback from a family or actually even a local school district here, we just give our staff a huge shout out, because it just makes such a difference to hear that their hard work and their, everything they put into this is being acknowledged by those. Even if it's just one person, it just makes such a difference. We've had wonderful feedback from a local school district here, and they've said nothing but your staff, that for like a week straight, we were getting emails from the school district saying so-and-so did such a great job. And it was just wonderful. And just families in general. I've worked with families that are on the early stages of receiving that formal diagnosis of autism, where there may be like a 2-year-old, right? And so they're going through a grieving process, going through, I don't know what to do next. And so we've come in and we've been able to help with that and give them hope that maybe their child will be able to speak and communicate and be a little bit more independent. So just, when their parent goes, oh my gosh, I didn't know my child can do that. And that now they're pointing at what they want and things like that. And young adults as well, when they come back to us and say, I didn't think I was going to like this social skills group, but I'm loving it. And then I'm using the skills to, manage some of these social situations I was uncomfortable with.
Well, I can imagine how helpful you are to parents that can help communicate with their child.
I've had parents be very emotional when they see some of these things that they thought that wasn't going to be possible. And I just love sharing that with them and be able to say, we heard him say the first word, and it was so exciting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, you had mentioned where you're located me earlier, but share with the audience, where is your Boise clinic located?
Sure. We're on Rose Hill, so we're right across the depot. So we have our office there, and we are about to open a clinic in Meridian and right by St. Luke's, interestingly enough, in the brand new Y. So it's a great location for that.
I'm going to put your website and scroll it across the screen, sunderlinbcba.com. Is there anything else while I have you here today, Urenka, that you'd like to educate the listeners on?
Well, the only thing I would say that we're working towards opening up also a developmental preschool. So we're expanding our services. So looking at that as well. And I'm in the process of doing that. So we'll have a big announcement when that comes to fruition, but there's such a need for that. So I'm really excited to be able to do that as well.
Absolutely. And what are your hours of operation, and how do we schedule with you? How do we connect?
Absolutely. So you can, parents can contact our intake coordinator via call, phone call. They can go into our website and then just submit a form and ask for a call back. And we provide services from starting, believe it or not, 7:30 in the morning.
Wow. Right.
Yeah. And we can go all the way to about 6:30 or 7, because we do have our groups that can go until 7:30 sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's important especially for working parents. And I had another question, it escaped my mind. But I think it's important to know, is insurance, do you provide, how do people pay? Tell me more about that.
Absolutely. Okay. So the way that people can get coverage is through their private insurance, if they have one, or also their Medicaid. So Optum Medicaid, okay. As long as they're able to qualify for coverage. And what that means is they need to have a formal diagnosis of autism or some sort of developmental disability. So that would work. But we also work with individuals that through private pay that maybe just need lower level support or like booster sessions. And so it's not so much long-term. This treatment is not meant to be long-term. It's meant to be, we come in, we work on the developmentals, behavior management, and we get ourselves out of a job. So it's not supposed to be for years and years.
Right. No, I love it. Well, Urenka, again, I can't thank you enough for being a part of the chamber and being a part of our ambassador program and providing the services that you and your experts on your team provide. It's huge. And I don't hear about this very often, a private company providing these types of services. Usually it's a state-run organization or something. So this is really unique. And I can really tell that you care a lot about your clients and your team. So thank you again for taking the time to help share the Sunderlin Behavioral Intervention story with me.
Oh, thank you, Paul, for your kind words. And yeah, absolutely. I'm so happy that I was able to share this information with everybody in the chamber and everybody else as well.
Hey, have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you, and we can cheers again soon.
Absolutely.
Bye.